Hello, one and all. It is Charlie with Mountain Man Digital, back again, and today what I want to talk to you guys about is soup to nuts SUPERPOSTS. Okay? What is a SUPERPOST? Why does it matter? Why is it the number one thing you should be working on? And how to get one done quickly and easily without a lot of stress and strain and confusion and all that other good stuff. So, first of all, what is a SUPERPOST? So a SUPERPOST is going to be a piece of content, stuff, usually written, that's on your website. Oftentimes nowadays it has inline videos, stuff like that. And what it's going to have is a whole bunch of different sections that explain different things. Okay? And so I'm using this post here from Ahrefs, which is a great resource for SEO if you guys are trying to learn this stuff on your own. And the reason why I chose this one is because you noticed what I typed into Google was Ahrefs Guide to SEO. Okay? And I came back to the search results here to show you guys something. Look at how many look at how much traffic, look at how many site hits that Ahrefs gets just to this post every single month. Okay? Charlie, that's crazy. I can never do that. Well, let's back up. Okay? Why do they get so much traffic? Well, if you look at how many keywords that this one post ranks for. 282. So if I was good at doing math, I could tell you that each of those keywords is only getting them, on average, 4 or 5 hits a month. Okay? Which is kind of the standard for a new keyword when you rank for it, right? You get 5, 10, maybe 20, maybe 100 hits a month, right? And so a lot of people get really excited in SEO about grabbing the brass ring and getting 100 new site hits a month, 1,000, right? 10,000. Oh man, only if I could, right? But you have to remember that in SEO, it's about the long game, okay? And as you add a keyword, and add a keyword, and add a keyword, and add a keyword, your traffic starts to do that. Because not only is Google giving you the traffic for that keyword, but then it's going, if you rank for landscaper, chiropractor, web developer, whatever it is, there's a whole bunch of other search terms out there in the universe, the keyword universe, that are relevant to that same idea. And so now you rank for one and you start to kind of rank for 5 more. And then you put something in there related and now you rank for 20 more and 80 more and 10,000 more. And that's how your website can grow as a cornerstone of authority in your niche. Okay? And that's exactly what Ahrefs has been doing here. Okay? And this one post is a cornerstone in the building of their total website. Now, if we take a look through the post, you can see that there's a whole lot of different number pieces. There's a video. There's a sidebar with a place to sign up. There's a place to share it, right? There's so much stuff going on here. And even you'll see, versus what I was getting off of my SEO Quake data, which said, 1,300 hits a month. Ahrefs is telling us, that they're getting more like 17,000 hits a month. And let's talk a little bit more about that. Why would that be? Well, as you can see, there's 446 linking websites as well. So not only are they getting native traffic from Google to the tune of 1,500 or so, but these 446 other websites are going, so here's some SEO basics, but if you really want to learn, head over to Ahrefs and read this blog post. Okay? And that's, once again, just growing their site authority like crazy. Okay? So I think I've covered what a SUPERPOST is, and I think I've covered why you need it. Okay? It is the cornerstone of your content strategy online, and this is the way you're going to build traffic easily and in a way that's going to last. Okay? Because for a lot of you guys, I'm sure you've talked to other SEOs and they say, oh, well, we're going to worry about your citations. So the name of that website is Yelp. You know, so they make you a Yelp account. They make you a Yext account. They do this, that, and the other. And then we're going to comment on blogs. And then we're going to do this. And then we're going to do that. And all that stuff is fine, right? And I think a good way to think about all that is when Google's looking at your site, okay, the first thing it cares about, way up here above the view of my camera, is content. Okay, the stuff on your site. Do you have original videos? Do you have original blog posts and written content? Do you have any type of podcast or anything like that it can index? That's the stuff it cares about, right? Because new content is what people are looking for on the internet, right? It doesn't matter how many cool backlinking tricks you're doing if there's no stuff at the end of the golden rainbow. Golden rainbow. Sure, it's a golden rainbow today. It's early. It's Monday. Now, because of that, you got to make the content. So what goes in to a super post? So what I'll do here is I'll pull up my super post that I've been working on here so that you guys can get a feel for what's going on. And some of you guys may have already seen this, but that's okay. So what I want to show you is actually this sidebar here, right here, okay? And this is how you start a super post. So you're a business owner, and let's say that you're a tree removal specialist. How about that? So what you want this sidebar to be is the steps that a homeowner needs to understand when they're getting a tree removed from their yard. Or the steps that a landowner needs to understand when they want to sell timber off their land. Or any of those ideas, right? So a good way to think of it is, as a business owner, when was the last time you were on the phone with a potential client and you were just like, this guy doesn't get it, right? He doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't understand the process. This is going to be a pain, okay? And so functionally, this super post on your website can become a, Mr. Jones, now I want you to go to this site, this page on my website, and take a look at section whatever, okay? Because you can have a simple 2-paragraph explanation in there that'll just help him get on the same page as you. And this is how your website becomes a resource, okay? And it's always good with SEO to think of people first, right? How are people going to respond? Because if people respond well to your website, Google will notice that. One of Google's favorite ways to index website is through how humans interact with the site. Because Google is only a best guess, closest assumption of how humans will interact. So if they have users on the site they can survey, then they're going to know how well the site runs. This is really what's happening in Google. So you want to make something that's a resource for your potential patients or clients or whomever they may be, and make sure that everything here is organized and simple to read for your customer. Okay? So what else is in a super post? Well, a good way to think of it is you want to first figure out what you're going to write about. You know, what's a common problem your customers have that's causing them to stay up at night, that you could give them a dearth of information about so that they know enough to make an informed decision, and at the end they probably want to call you. Okay? But the informed decision is the biggest part, right? They know all their options, they know what the landscape looks like, and they know what to do next. Okay? And that's what I'm looking to do here. How to make a small business website. A complete guide, right? So I have everything from choosing your content management system, to hosting, to keyword research, to content writing, how to build the website, extra plugins, publishing content, and website maintenance, right? It's going to cover everything from soup to nuts so that you guys understand the process. That's the goal here. So when you're putting together your own super post, you want it to follow the same structure, okay? And one of the best ways to organize your super post, first and foremost, is from personal experience. It's a coffee break. So what I mean by personal experience is, like I was explaining a minute ago, you're on the phone with a customer and he just doesn't get it, right? Write your post for that guy, because that's the guy who needs it. And if you're on the phone with one of them, 10 of them thought about calling and didn't because they were too embarrassed, and 100 of them subconsciously didn't even want to try because they didn't know enough, right? You are actively losing business from many more people if there's one on the phone with you that's confused. 100%. It's a classic marketing principle. So when you see these things, when you're on the phone with these people, you hear these problems, write them down, okay? What is the specific question? What don't they understand and why? And how can you simplify that, easify it, write about it, video about it, podcast about it, to bring that idea to your potential customers in a way they can understand? That's the overarching goal of the super post. And the best part about it is you can chip away at it day by day, just like I'm doing right now, making small chunks of content that'll live inside of it, like this video here, that's what I'm doing here, and that will help to make your super post that much better. Okay, it gives Google that much more stuff to look at. And you can do this in little bits and chunks. Okay? So that's the first place that you research for your super post, is you figure out, soup to nuts, the questions that folks have and how you can build that into a comprehensive guide so they know what to do when they call you on the phone. The next thing you want to do is use something like a Google Keyword Planner. Okay? And there's all sorts of different keyword planning tools. Okay? I use Google Keyword Planner because I'm mostly an SEO guy, right? And you might as well start here if you're going to start anywhere. So let's type in tree removal, since that's what we feel like we're working with today. Okay? And this will show you the number of clicks a month, number of people that look at it, etc., etc. Okay? And this here, this one that I chose, I think is the wrong one, to be honest. Yeah, we want to do discover new keywords. I'm sorry. We don't care about search volume and forecasts. So we type this in here, and we wait, and we sip more coffee. And now we get a list of tree removal services, okay, or tree removal based keywords, excuse me. And so you can see here, right, there's already some kind of baked in questions inside of this that'll help people understand what's going on, right? Tree removal cost, stump grinding, stump removal cost, okay? Palm tree trimming. If you're in the south, if you're in a tropical area, that's probably important, okay? Evergreen tree service, right? Stump rot. You know, tree expert's probably just a word you can put in there. Hire a tree expert for, etc., etc. Tree limb removal, okay? And so as you can see, as you go through these, I'm already getting some ideas on what we could do here. You know, have a bad tree in your yard? Here are your options, right? Have a tree you love that's getting sick? Here are your options, right? Different common ailments in our area for trees. Ba 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 ba. How to deal with each of these. Ba 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 ba. Right? Because that's a regional thing. You know, different blights, different bacterias, different bugs, etc. And just having a little write-up about each of those under a section header in your super post gives your site way more authority than any other tree trimming site in your area. Nobody else is doing this, right? And the best part is you just chip away at it a few minutes a day. And before you know it, you'll have it done. So this is how you come up with the ideas, okay? Next, after you've come up with this, go to Google Docs or whatever your favorite word processor is and build yourself your outline, okay? And that's what I've done here, right? We have these different section headers, and then inside of each one we have subsections, different pieces here that explain how much you need to pay for stuff, your different options, different websites you can go to, etc., etc. And you can do the same thing for your business. Now, section headers are important because it gives Google an easy place to figure out what this paragraph's going to be about. Because Google doesn't know how to read. It doesn't understand context. It's a computer. So you want to make sure that your section headers make sense. Okay? Building your website, right? Doing research. These need to be rewritten at some level. But you see what's happening here. Small business website examples, right? That's something that people will Google. Why do you need a website first? So these are the types of things you want to stuff inside of your article, as they say, keyword stuffing, which is actually black hat, but only if you do it too much. I shouldn't have said that. Don't worry about it. You're doing stuff fine. You're not going to get in trouble. I promise. So you want to make sure that at least once all of these keywords show up that you've checked, right? Because that's the whole point of the keyword research, is you're going, man, it'd be real nice to get 1,000 hits a month from that. I better write about how we are an evergreen tree service. So that's the type of stuff you want to stuff into your super post. Now that you have all these different ideas, pick one of these a day and write about it, okay? If you aren't good at writing, write an outline and get your friend or your cousin or your buddy or somebody off of Fiverr to write about it, and then edit it and make sure it sounds good. Then you post it to your website and share it with your friends. That's really it, guys. Okay? And this is why super posts are so powerful. Okay? Number one, it has all the SEO goodness in it that it needs. You baked it all into the cake. You got your keywords, you got content, you got context for that content because it's inside of this nice structure. So Google's algorithm will have a better time understanding it. You have a ton of keywords inside of a keyword universe, which makes Google very happy because they get where this content's going. They understand whom they should serve it to. And furthermore, it's a resource. You've written it based on your experience as a business owner, looking to see what folks need. All right? And once it's done, post it. Okay? This is me mostly yelling at myself. Charlie, finish up this super post and post it. Folks out here need to know how to build their small business websites. Dang. Well, that's what I got for you today, guys. I hope you found this useful. I kind of wanted to just pack all this into a guide so that you guys had an idea of how to just do this. Okay? So, I hope you found this useful. If you did, give it a like. Share it with any other business owners out there who you think might find it useful. And I'll see you in the next one.